Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the historic, newly refurbished Manning Field for today's Thanksgiving matchup, the 109th matchup between the away team, the Lynn Classical Rams, and the home team, the Lynn English Bulldogs. We ask at this time that you please rise with your caps as the Lynn English ROTC will be bringing out the flag of the country, and the Lynn Public School Marching Band will be presenting our national anthem. Thank you. Good luck to both teams and happy Thanksgiving, everyone.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Manning Field. Hard to believe the last football game of the season and the biggest game of the year. Lynn English and Lincoln, the Super Bowl. Teams will be playing for the last time at Manning Field.
Captains for Lynn Classical today: number 1, R.J. Fessler; number 2, Brian Vaughn; number 4, John Naskey; number 6, Dante Rucker;
That's hockey team that combined.
number 50, Yoel Sosa.
Know each other, but now they're, I don't want to say enemies, they're foes on the football field.
For Lynn English, number 1, Edward Castro; number 3, Jarvin Simon; number 50, Matt Peters; number 60, Valeri Mora Cruz. The great Nick Costa is also up there for Classical.
Back together again after last year. Looked like they were going to have a winning season. Them off in double overtime. A winning season. He did it last year too. 5 last year to go 5-5. Double overtime. Now they're looking at itching to get back. That one. Classical looking to have a winning season. Both teams. Yep, with 7 wins, that's in the city of Lynn. So when you put all these teams together, spread the talent. 5 teams in the city. And then Lynn kids going to prep federal.
Bulldogs will receive the ball to begin the game. Number 1, Edwin Castro. Number 9, Jonathan Andreas back deep for the Bulldogs to receive.
So thin. Young teams. Freshman
Number 8, Nick Costa to kick it off for the Rams.
football. Edwin Castro. So the future is bright. Right now, all you care about this game. This determines whether Turkey out of bounds inside the 20-yard line. Round ball to shortstop. Off one.
After the return, the Bulldogs will be set up with a 1st and 10. Ball placed in their own territory at the 19-yard line.
Lynn band opportunity to play at Gillette Stadium on Super Bowl Saturday. And the city turned it down because they didn't want to pay for the bus. I find that hard to believe. What a great treat that would have been for the kids. I know St. Mary's and Kemp are not public schools, but one exception. Coming to the near side, flag on the play right off the bat.
From 10 to 20, Richardson on the run for the Bulldogs, but there is a flag on the play.
Get out to the 22 for a pickup of 3, but that's going to be nullified.
We have a holding call on the Bulldogs. That play will be brought back as a result.
Back to the 9.
We have 1st and 20 for the Bulldogs at their own 9.
Well, 1st and 20. As they send double wideouts to either side. Castro trying to go straight up the middle. White shirts.
Number 1, Edwin Castro, the quarterback keep, brought down by a sea of Rams defenders, and there is a flag on the play.
Flag. Unsportsmanlike against
Unsportsmanlike conduct penalty on the Rams.
It's the first down. Back and forth we go. Moving to the 25. So the first down of the game goes to English by penalty.
After the penalty, it will be a 2nd and 4 for the Bulldogs. Ball will be placed at their own 25.
Automatic first down. Straight ahead.
The 3, Jarvis Simon on the run for the Bulldogs. Be a pickup of 1. It'll be 3rd and 3.
A pickup of 2.
Attention, there is a bake sale going on for the Westland cheerleaders.
3rd and a couple.
At the entrance, and will help them go to Florida. Please go help and support them. Thank you.
Motion coming. Castro trying to run straight ahead. If they give him the 30, he's got a first down. So he needed a couple, he got 3. And the first down. So English picks up the first down at the 30-yard line. They'll hold on to the football, and they send double wideouts to either side. Castro looking to throw. Rolling, still looking. And he slips and falls. He's going to lose yardage. Down to the 23, lost 7. So it'll be second down and 17. He was looking to throw, and then he just kind of lost his footing and went down. And of course, everybody's saying he should have thrown it away. 3 wideouts to the near side, 1 to the far side. Castro in the backfield by himself. Trying to go to the right side, not going to go anywhere. No gain on the play. 3rd and 17. So I feel, again, I really feel bad for the band. Whether it's public schools or not, it would have been a great treat for those kids to go to Gillette and play at Gillette. And after they perform so well all year, and who cares if they're not public schools? One bus payment is not going to break the budget. We've wasted a lot of money on other stuff. Castro taking off and running with it. He gets across the 25 and gets banged out of bounds, and English is going to have to kick it away. They put it at the 27. He picked up 4. Pascal deep man is at his 40-yard line. The kick is away. Takes a little bit of a roll for English. They'll drop it at the 35-yard line. So for all intents and purposes, English didn't do badly kicking it from their end. So Classical will see what they can do offensively from their 35-yard line. Happy Thanksgiving to everybody. It's hard to believe the season's over. We had a game last night, a game of the age. I've never seen a game like this at Manning Field. Kip and Tech, 54-48, 102 points. Kip was the winner, but an unbelievable game. Hoon with the carry. Out to the 37, he picked up a couple. So we finished soccer, we finished football. The only thing left, congratulations to both St. Mary's and Kip. They'll be playing in the Super Bowl. Everybody else will be getting ready for basketball and hockey. Misdirection going to the far side. A pile up, a couple of extra pushes. Naskey with the carry. Out to the 42, we picked up 5. They need 3. Coming to the near side, they're going to get the first down.
Number 22, towering one on the run for the Rams. The results in a first down.
Hoon gets it across the 45. They put it to 46. He picked up 4. So Classical gets a first down. They move the stakes and they hold on to the football. Everybody in tight. Hit right at the line of scrimmage and dropped.
Number 22, towering one on the run for the Rams. He was brought down by number 3, Jarvis Simon. No gain to play. It'll be 2nd and 10 for their own 46.
No gain on the play. 2nd and 10. R.J. Fessler is the quarterback. And they get hit in the backfield. That's Naskey.
Number 4, John Naskey on the run. Brought down by a sea of Bulldogs.
They lost 3.
It'll be 3rd and 13 at their own.
3rd and 13. Two wideouts to the near side. They fake the pass. They lose another yard. And Classical, are they going to kick it away? Yes, they are. So both teams come up empty on their first possessions. The kick is away. It takes a big hop right at the 20-yard line. And returning it across the 30. Castro with the return. They put it to 33. So English will have it for the second time here in the first period. Castro starts straight ahead, try to cut it to the outside, and he's going to lose yardage. They lose a yard. 2nd and 11. So both teams having trouble moving the ball. This is the 109th meeting of these two teams. They try to run it straight ahead.
The 3, Jarvin Simon on the run for the Bulldogs. Brought down by number 9, Kamani Phipps for the Rams.
Simon got
A gain of 1 will be 3rd and 10 at their own 33.
back to the line of scrimmage, original line of scrimmage. It'll be 3rd and 10. Both teams are not prone to throw the ball. Both teams are running offense almost exclusively. Castro dropping back, looking to throw. Still looking. And he just throws it away.
Castro's pass is incomplete. It'll be a 4th down for the Bulldogs.
English will have to kick it away. And Glasgow again will get decent field position without a run back. Flag on the play.
Got a flag on the play.
That came from the official way upfield. Haskell had too many men in the field.
We have a penalty on the Rams.
I thought it was a minor penalty. It's a big one.
It'll be automatic 1st down for the Bulldogs as a result after the penalty.
English going to get a 1st down. A big 10-yarder.
Be a 1st and 10 at their own 48.
Out to the 48-yard line. It was a 15-yarder. Second 1st down for English. Both of them penalties on Classical. So it wasn't too many men in the field. I don't know what that signal was. I'm not privy to that one. But it was a 15-yarder. They went under center.
Number 9, Jonathan Andreas on the run for the Bulldogs. It'll be a pickup of 1. It'll be 2nd and 9, their own 49.
So you went a little different offensively that time. Castro was not the quarterback. Looked like Andretti's was the quarterback, went under center.
After 1 remaining field, Lynn. We're all tied up at 0.
So we come to the end of the first period with virtually no offense. English will have it at their own 49-yard line. 2nd and 9. Fast pace. When all you do is run the ball, the clock continues to run. But no major plays. English has 4 yards rushing and 2 first downs, one of them by penalty. Classical has 7 yards rushing, 1 first down. And penalties have been the biggest point of contention in the first period, especially against Glasgow. So we start the second period. They go I formation, under center, a little bit different. They pitch it, coming to the near side, and they're lucky if they got back to the line of scrimmage. Andretti's with the carry. They lost a yard. So they get one, they lose one. They're back to 3rd and 10. The crowd is decent here today. It's a nice day here. Last Sunday, the Powder Puff game, it was brutally cold. So again, they go under center with Andretti's. Dropping back, looking to throw. In trouble. Takes off and runs with it. Gets to the 47 of Glasgow. He picked up 5. It'll be 4th and 5, and English will have to kick it away. First time we've seen English go under center like they did. High snap, the kick is away. And it goes out of bounds, just shy of the, outside the 20-yard line.
After the return, the Rams will be set up with a 1st and 10. Ball be placed at their own 21.
At the 21-yard line is where Glasgow will start their first possession of the second period. The granddaddy. Super Bowls are great, but these are the games you remember. And we've had some of the most outstanding games. Trying to go right, not going anywhere.
Number 22, Tyron Long on the run for the Rams. It'll be a pickup of 1. It'll be 2nd and 9 at their own 22.
They give him a yard to the 22. Hoon with the carry. So both defenses tough here in the early going. Again, trying to cut it up inside, going no place. It's clogged up.
Number 22, Tyron Long on the run for the Rams.
They give him another yard.
Pickup of 1. It'll be 3rd and 8 at their own 23.
So 3rd and 8. Punting from here would give English pretty good field position. Looking to throw. They let it fly deep. There's a man there. Just knocked away. Good defense.
Pass intended for number 4, John Askey, is incomplete. Broken up by number 1, Edwin Castro.
Castro got a hand on it and knocked it away.
It will be a 4th and 8 for the Rams.
Makes a pretty good classical bounce and roll. All the way down to the English 30. That's classical came out pretty good from where they were kicking it. For you. Those are for the kids on the game.
Yeah, I know. I was asking if I could
Go ahead. I'm over here. See the same gentleman standing there?
Yep.
The guy with the black jacket with the black hat?
Yeah.
Mr. Newton, ask him if he has something for Mr. Hoffman.
Okay. If he has something for him, if he said.
If he has something for Mr. Hoffman.
Okay.
From the 30, English will put it in play. Trying to come to the near side. Going to pick up a couple. There's another penalty. It's going to be a holding against English. And it's going to be a little bit bigger because it's back at the 28-yard line. So from the point of foul, it's going to be a little bigger than 10 yards. They put it back at the 18-yard line. So it turns out to be a 12-yard penalty. So they're back to the 18-yard line. 1st and 22. They go back to the spread with double wideouts to either side. Castro in the backfield by himself. Motion to the near side. Little reverse. The ball went to the ground. Classical says they have it. English got it back. Classical was signaling. We waited for the official to tell us. They got to the 19-yard line. They picked up a yard. 2nd and 21.
Okay, in the play, it'll be 2nd and 22 for the Bulldogs.
Three wideouts to the far side, one to the near side. They run it straight ahead for very little yardage. They're lucky if they got a yard. The ball's at the 20-yard line. 3rd and 20. They need 10 yards to get back to the original line of scrimmage after that penalty. They double the wideouts to either side. Straight up the middle, Castro. Nowhere near a first down. 2 yards shy the original line of scrimmage. He picked up 8. Kick got blocked. Out of bounds. So Classical's going to have outstanding field position.
Blocks it for Glasgow. After the block punt, the Rams
Out of bounds at the 19.
in their own territory at the 19-yard line.
So the first break of the game goes to the Rams. Two wideouts to the near side. The quick out, caught, and they're going to get about 5.
Number 4, John Naskey.
They picked up 5. Naskey with the catch.
They pick up a 5. It'll be 2nd and 5.
2nd and 5 from the 14-yard line.
18-yard line.
Haskell looking to break the 0-0 tie here in the second period.
Number 1, Arcade Festival, the quarterback keep. That results in a Rams first down.
Wrestling with the carry. Timeout called by English.
As their first of the half, they have 2 remaining.
Hessler picked up 7 and a first down, so it's going to be 1st and goal from the 7-yard line. Zero. The offense have been stagnant. If you were here last night, Lynn Tech and Kip, you didn't have to worry about offense. 102-point score. What a difference a day makes. English and Classical just picked up their 2nd first down. English has got 2 first downs, 1 by penalty. Last night, we had Tech with 500 yards of offense. The quarterback for Kip, Senstall, threw for over 400. 102 points. Now, first downs are coming by. We had back-to-back kick returns after a touchdown. We scored 3 touchdowns in a matter of a minute. They threw it, faked it, threw it in the end zone, caught and dropped. They had it. Naskey had it, couldn't hold on. 2nd and goal. He was right under the goalpost looking to make the catch. Naskey's a junior. He had a good year. Vessler's a junior. Brian Vaughn would have been the quarterback, the coach's son, but he got hurt in a Thanksgiving game last year and was forced to take the year off. Everybody in tight. Hume trying to break it to the outside. He gets pushed out of bounds. Might have got inside the 5. They put it at the 5. Third and goal from the 5. Classical trying to take advantage of a block punt and get on the board. The Classical side's got a very nice crowd. The English side's got a very nice crowd. People all around the fence, out behind the goalpost. So a good crowd here on Thanksgiving Day. Great way to end the season. 2 wideouts to the near side. Vessel looking to throw. Now we get hit. English almost picked it off. It's an incomplete pass, they're calling it. There was nobody on that side of the field to throw it to. His arm got hit, it popped up. English almost picked it. So now, if they're going to take advantage of the block punt, this is the play. 4th down from the 5. Quickly up to the line of scrimmage. They let it fly deep, wide open in the end zone. Vessler with the catch. Took them 6 plays to go 19 yards. They convert on 4th and 5. They threw it from the far side. They threw it to the deepest part of the nearest corner of the end zone. Fessler had plenty of room to make the catch. And Classical gets on the board. That's going to cost Classical 5. So Fessel is usually the quarterback. He caught the pass. They moved it back to the 8. Caught, but he doesn't get in. They knocked him shy. He made the nice catch. It just got knocked shy. Well, Glasgow gets on the board.
With 3:54 to go in the second quarter for Manning Field here in Lynn. Scores like Classical, Grant 6.
I mentioned that Brian Vaughn's son, Brian Jr., got wiped out last year at English Classical and was out the entire season. He's back for this game. He threw the pass for the touchdown. I thought it was him, but I said, no, it can't be because he's out, but he's back. So that's nice for the Vaughn family. They kicked the ground ball. And English had room to run, but they caught it and just fell down at the 32-yard line. They took a big hop. Zamari Omasefi caught it and just went down, and there was nobody near him. He could have given English a little better field position. They have it at the 32, and they now trail 6-0. They went under center again. 2nd and 8 from the 34. Andretti's the quarterback as they go under center and go to the I with wideouts to either side. Motion. And they run it straight ahead again. Simon gets it to the 36 for 2 more. Timeout on the field as we're winding down this second period. Classical leading at 6-0, taking advantage of a block punt and took it right to the wire. 4th and goal from the 5. Vaughn completed the pass to Fessler. He came up a yard shy of the 2-point conversion. And that's where we are, 6-0 Classical. English for another big play. 3rd and 6. And they stay in that I formation. Not going anywhere. No gain on the play. And they're going to have to kick it away.
Number 9, Jonathan Andrettis on the run for the Bulldogs. He was stopped by number 5, Piaggi. They'll gain the play. It'll be 4th and 6 at their own 36.
So Classical's going to get the ball back. High snap. They get the kick away. And it takes a good English bounce and roll. And it's going to dive right at the 20-yard line.
After the return, the Bulldogs will be set up with a 1st and 10. Ball will be placed in their own territory at 21-yard line.
They give him a yard at the 21. Still strange to see English in the black uniforms and not in their maroon like they usually have. New this year. Coach Anthony Afrada doing a nice job. Haskell loose with the run. Still loose. It's a foot race. They're not going to get him. John Naskey goes 79 yards. He got loose, going to the right, cut it back to the middle, and just outran everybody to the end zone. "79 yards later, Classical's got a 12-0 lead. I mentioned Anthony Lafrata, the coach of English, doing a very nice job with the Bulldogs. Brian Vaughn Sr. doing a nice job too. He lost his quarterback and then lost his second quarterback for a few games early on. They had him wide open, and they threw it a little too soon and too far. There's a flag on the play. It was pass interference against Classical.
Penalty is on the Rams. It is declined. The 2-point conversion is no good for Classical. With 1:40 to go in the second quarter here for Mansfield Lynn.
So 79 yards in one play, and that's a backbreaker because less than 2 minutes to play in this half. That's a tough touchdown for English to give up. That play puts Classical over 100 yards. Considering that 79 of them are that one play. They had 28 yards and 2 first downs. English had 22 yards and 2 first downs prior to that long run. The other one, of course, you only had to go 19 yards, and then English almost took it away. It took a 4th and 5 pass from Vaughn to Fessler to get the touchdown. Onside kick. It looks like Classical recovered. There's a flag. He just threw a late flag. I don't know if it has to go 10 yards before Classical can touch it. I thought it crossed the 50 and got knocked back. There's a flag. So they're calling a legal touch. The ball didn't get past the 50-yard line or to the 50-yard line. So English is going to have very good field position, but not a lot of time to try and get on the board. And Classical, if they can keep English off the board, they'll have all the momentum going in at halftime because they'll get the ball to start the second half. So now I'm not sure what's happening. They're kicking it over again. The penalty against Classical for illegal touching. I thought English would get the football. They're going to mark it off, and he'll kick it from the 30 this time. I would have thought English would have rather had the ball at the 49-yard line. So Classical went with the onside kick. They recovered it, but the ball didn't go 10 yards. So they re-kick from the 25. Now they look like they're changing their mind, and they're not going to kick again. So the officials trying to get on the same page. They're over talking to Coach Vaughn. They're going to put the ball back at the 49-yard line, and that's where English will get it. So they're not going to kick over again. English is going to get the ball at the 49 after they finally get together and come up with a solution. Double wideouts to either side. Looking to throw. Now they're going to take off and run with it. I think that's Rosario in at quarterback. He picked up 5 to the 44.
It'll be second and 5 at the Rams 44.
So it'll be second and 5. Again, double wideouts to either side. Looking to throw. Over the middle, picked off at the 35-yard line.
The pass is picked off by number 22, Tyree Luan of the Rams, and they will take over with the first and 10. Their own territory.
Hune picked it off. Seven-yard return gets it to the Classical 42. Let's see what Classical does with time winding down. And they get the ball to start the second half. Little mix-up there. Nasky was going to the inside. I think Vaughn thought he was going outside and threw it behind him. So it'll be second and 10. I'm sure Coach Brian Vaughn is extremely happy to have his son back in the lineup. Luckily, he's only a junior, so he didn't lose the whole year, and as a senior, he's back next year. The direct snap, and they run it straight ahead.
Number 22, Tyree Luan on the run for the Rams. Brought down by number 54, Julius Bondesier.
They picked up 7.
Second half, they got 1 remaining.
Classical will take a timeout. Third and 3 when play resumes. And nice, just a smidgen of a white cloud, a couple of white clouds way over behind the scoreboard to our far right. Everything else is blue sky up above. Not a lot of wind blowing. The trees in the background are just quiet. A pretty nice day, considering it's virtually the end of November. And considering places like Buffalo had 6 feet of snow, and people to our north, Maine, and maybe out Worcester way, were getting snow. So we're in pretty good shape here. First Thanksgiving in the new furbished Manning Field. They did a great job. Quick out, caught by Nasky, he gets out of bounds. That'll be a first down.
It'll be first and 10 in Bulldog territory at the 43-yard line for the Rams.
He picked up 8. Stopped the clock going out of bounds. Picked up the first down. I'm looking at one of the coaches on the far side for Classical in a short sleeve shirt and shorts. Vaughn looking. Lets it fly deep. Well covered. Looking for Fessler. He was covered like a blanket. There was no way they were going to complete that pass. Second and 10 as we're winding down. They can move the chains and stop the clock. They could get a couple of plays with just about 19 seconds left. The quick out, caught.
Vaughn's pass is complete to number 4, John Naskey. Brought down by number 44, Mitchell Turner.
They move it down to the 39 for a pickup of 4. Haskell takes another timeout. 3rd and 6.
As their final 1.5, they have a seal remaining.
So both teams on the sideline. English talking defense, Classical talking offense.
We also want to set a reminder to please throw your trash.
We mentioned Classical leading 12-0. They'll take that momentum into the locker room, and they'll get the ball to start the second half. English is going to have to find a way to unlock their offense in the second half. Again, the crowd has been very good on both sides. And a smattering of fans out behind the fence, behind the goalpost to the left of the field. The band will perform at halftime. And again, I feel so bad for the band that they wouldn't pay for a bus to take them to Gillette to play for the Super Bowl just because they're schools that are playing are not public schools. If we had time, we'd take up a collection. Vaughn got hit as he lets it fly, tipped and knocked away. He had to throw it off his back foot.
Knocked out by number 4, Elijah Wallace.
And this will be the last play of the first half. Haskell blocked a punt and then eventually went 19 yards, scoring on 4th and goal from the 5 on a pass from Vaughn to Fessler to get the ball back. And John Naskey went the quick out to Fessler, looking for a block. Knocked out of bounds at the 17. They picked up 22 in the first down, but it's the last play of the half. So Classical comes up short, but they grab a 12-0 lead on that 4th and 5 pass. And then the 79-yard run by Naskey. And we've reached halftime in this 109th meeting of this arch rival, English and Classical, on Thanksgiving Day. Classical 12, English nothing, with the band set to perform at halftime.
Go, yeah. Let's get that hype. Say, why are you holding me, bro? Nah, but that's
Welcome back to Manning Field as we're getting set to start the second half. English will kick it off. Classical leading at 12-0. Bobbles picked up at the 11-yard line. Coming to the near side, getting across the 25 to 26, maybe the 27.
Number 6, Dante Rucker on the return for the Rams. Tripped by number 2, Lionel Rivera. Will be first and 10 for the Rams in their own territory at the 26-yard line.
So the ball will be at the 26. Glasgow wound up with 104 yards rushing, 44 passing, 5 first downs. English had only 27 yards rushing, 2 first downs, one of them a penalty against Glasgow. Nasky has 81 yards rushing, 79 of those on the touchdown. He caught 3 passes for 17. Fessler caught 2, including the touchdown. Now the direct snap to Hoon. Turns the corner.
Number 22, Tyrone Lawn with the first down run for Glasgow. It'll be first and 10 at the 36-yard line.
Out to the 36 for a first down.
Number 22, Tyrone Lawn on the run for the Rams.
Hune again.
They pick him up 6. It'll be second and 4. 42-yard line.
They give him the 42 for 6. Flag on the play.
Flag on the play. All start on the Rams.
Somebody moved. That'll push it back to the 37.
Ball will be moved back 5 yards. It'll be second and 9 for the Rams.
So second and 9 from the 37. Everybody in tight. They're going to get hit in the backfield and dropped.
Number 4, John Nasky on the run for the Rams.
Nasky.
Stopped by number 54, Julius Martesian.
He lost 3.
12 at the 34-yard line for the Rams.
So they got a first down. Now they're going backwards. The penalty and the loss. The quick out. Nasky makes the catch and gets to the 40-yard line.
Launch pass is complete to number 4, John Nasky.
Picked up 6.
Brought down by number 2, Lionel Rivera on the Bulldogs.
And we got an English player down.
Be 4th and 6 at the 40-yard line.
It'll be 4th and 6 from the 40-yard line. Kressler had 2 catches for 27 and a touchdown. Yaski had 3 catches for 17. He rushed for 81, including the 79-yard touchdown. English just can't get their offense unlocked. 2 first downs, and one of them was a penalty against Glasgow. The defense for English has played well. They gave up the one long run, and then the other touchdown was short, 19 yards with a blocked punt, and connected on 4th and goal from the 5. So Glasgow's going to kick it away. It takes pretty good Glasgow bounce and roll, and it'll die around the 26-yard line. So they pin English back in their own end.
Back to the front, it'll be a 1st and 10 for the Bulldogs. Ball will be placed in their own territory at the 26-yard line.
So from the 26, it'll be 1st and 10 for English, their first possession of the second half. Again, double wideouts to either side. They fake the handoff. Castro keeps looking for a hole. He's got a hole, but it's going to come back. There's a penalty against English. There's a flag on the play. It's coming back. Biggest play of the day for English, and it's coming back. Their longest run of the day. He did a good job. Slipping, sliding, stepping, cutting.
After the penalty, it will be a 2nd and 23 for the Bulldogs. Ball will be placed in their own
They
territory.
move it down to the 13-yard line.
23 at their own.
So it becomes a 13-yard penalty from the point of foul. They dropped the ball.
There's a fumble on the play, but it's recovered by the Bulldogs.
They lost 3 more.
It'll be 2nd and 26 for the Bulldogs at their own 10.
Second and 26 from the 10-yard line. English offense has just been non-existent in this game. They had that one run by Castro. It's called back from a penalty. And that's been more or less the norm. And now they just about get back to the line of scrimmage, as Glasgow sent everybody after the quarterback, and he couldn't throw it. So no gain on the play.
Number 1 is Castro on the run. It'll be 3rd down and long for the Bulldogs.
3rd and half the distance of Western Avenue. They need 16 yards to get back to the line of scrimmage, the original line of scrimmage. Motion coming to the near side. Looking to throw. In trouble. Incomplete, almost picked off. Fessler almost picked it off. English will have to putt, and Glasgow's going to get very good field position without a run back.
As they won the GPL championship. Congratulations, ladies.
The deep man for Glasgow is standing at the English 40-yard line. They're kicking from the end zone. Picked up at the 49-yard line. We got a flag on the play, and that came. They ran the ball back. They went by the would-be tackler, and then from behind the play, Glasgow threw an illegal block. It wasn't even necessary. The play was already by both players, and they threw a block, and it cost Glasgow. An unnecessary block because the runner had already passed. It was behind the play. So instead of having the ball in English territory, down around the 35-yard line, they're going to mark it off, I believe, into the Glasgow end. They'll still have decent field position, but nowhere near what they would have had. They mark it to the Glasgow 45. Glasgow's coming out like they got the ball in the English territory, and they have to turn around and go back now. So at the 45-yard line of Glasgow is where they'll put it in play.
After the penalty, the Rams will take over with the 1st and 10 in their own territory at the 45-yard line.
So 1st and 10. Second possession for Glasgow here in the third period. Trying to get some room. Looking for a hole.
And 22 is Howard Awad all around for the Rams, brought down by Sea Bulldog defenders.
They give him 2.
It'll be 2nd and 8 at their own 47 for the Rams.
2nd and 8. The quick out, incomplete. Try to make the diving catch. Looking for Naskey. 3rd and 8. And that got blocked at the line of scrimmage.
Launch pass intended for number 4, John Naskey, is knocked down by number 44, Mitchell Furter. It'll be 4th down for the Rams.
Mitchell Porter, I think, was the one that got a hand on it. Glasgow's going to kick it away.
Get your tickets out, folks. We'd like to announce the 50-50 winner. Winning ticket is 641520.
So another punt. Last night, Kip and Tech, we did not have one punt in the game. 102 points scored. Line drive, it takes a Glasgow bounce, rolls to the 21-yard line. English will be pinned deep again.
After the punt, Bulldogs will take over with a 1st and 10 while we place their own territory at the 21-yard line.
English on that onside kick had the ball at the 49-yard line back in the second period. That was their best possession. Other than that, they started at their 33, but they started at their 19. They started at their 26. Now they're back at their 21. Field position has not been beneficial for the Bulldogs. When they got the ball at the 49-yard line, there was only like a minute left in the half. And they threw an interception. Simon with the carry. And second, third effort. Good effort by Simon. Gets across the 25. He picked up 5. He got hit right about the line of scrimmage, but good second and third effort. Now we got a flag thrown in the middle of the classical players. I don't know if somebody said something or did something. Now they're pointing towards English. They threw it right, English walked away. They threw it right in the middle of a host of classical players, so I assumed it was against classical. It's against English. They move it back to the 13, half the distance. So again, second and long. Second and 18. And this has been the story for English. Taking off and running with it. Getting the penalty yardage back and maybe a little bit more. Castro with the carry. He got half of it back. That's the longest run for English. 9 yards. So it's 3rd and 9. In trouble. Wrapped up, dropped. There's a flag on the play. I don't know if they got a face mask.
Face mask penalty on the Rams.
They lost 7 on the play. If they mark off 15, they'll be a yard shy of the first down. They put it at the 30-yard line.
After the penalty, it'll be a 3rd and 1 for the Bulldogs.
3rd and 1. It was 2nd and 18. Now it's 3rd and 1. They're talking to Coach LaFrada. I think he was saying it should have been marked off from a different spot. It would have been a first down. He's not winning his case. So they need a yard. 12-0 Glasgow. Getting both their touchdowns in the second period. One long, one short. Castro is going to get hit and knocked. He started to go left, stopped, tried to go back to the right. And we got a flag coming in as extracurricular activity upfield with a couple of players getting tied up. Castro lost back to the 26. He lost 4. Let's see what the penalty is about. The penalty's offset. Unsportsmanlike against both teams. There were 2 players upfield doing battle. The ball will be at the 26, and it will be 4th down for the Bulldogs. English will have to kick it away. So they had 3rd and 1. Castro had it. Looking to go left for the first down. It got clogged. He stopped, trying to come back to the middle. I think English is taking a timeout.
As their first of the half, they have 2 remaining. 3:35 to go in third.
Glasgow scored on a 5-yard pass, 4th and goal from the 5. Brian Vaughan to Fessler. And after the English had a kick, it was Nasky going 79 yards for the touchdown. Both of those coming in the second period. And that's been it. Glasgow has 119 yards rushing, but 79 of those came on the touchdown run by Nasky. English still has only 2 first downs, one of them by penalty. And penalties have been huge. We've had a ton of them. Snap. Blocked again. The snap, they never got the ball. High pop-up back to the punter. And he had to wait for it to come down, almost like a fair catch. And Glasgow's going to get the ball at the 17-yard line. So another break for the Rams, second block punt. And the poor punter had no chance. The ball goes to the ground. Glasgow almost gave it back.
There's that fumble on the play that's recovered by Glasgow. It'll be a 2nd and 12 at the 19-yard line of the Bulldogs.
2nd and 12. They threw it long and deep, and Nasky had cut it off at the 10-yard line. The pass in the end zone, there was nobody there.
It'll be third down.
3rd and 12. And the Vaughn family gets together over the sideline to coming up with a play. Coach Brian Sr., quarterback Brian Jr. And Brian Jr. brings the play back to the huddle. Yaski was cutting off at the 10-yard line. Vaughn thought he was going deep through it in the corner of the end zone. The quick out. Caught for very little yardage.
Vaughn's pass complete to number 4, John Nafsky. Front helmet number 9. Jonathan Aldridge.
They picked up 4.
Equal down for the Rams.
And we got a timeout. 4th and 8 for Classical at the English 15-yard line. So if nothing else, Classical's got the ball, running the clock, keeping it away from English with a 12-0 lead. And what a difference a day makes. I keep going back to last night with Kip and Tech putting on a show here last night, scoring 102 points. Tech scored 48 points and lost 54 to 48. He had over 500 yards of offense, back and forth. At one point, we had a touchdown scored, kick return for a touchdown, kick return for a touchdown, back to back. 3 touchdowns in about a matter of a couple of minutes. Now we can't even get first downs. Vaughn lets it fly, incomplete. So English holds after giving away that block punt.
And the Bulldogs will take over with the 1st and 10.
So English will get it once again, pinned deep in their end at the 15-yard line. Field position has not been good to the Bulldogs. Simon with the carry, doesn't get back to the line of scrimmage.
3, Jarvis Simon on the run for the Bulldogs. The loss of 2, it'll be 2nd and 12. 13-yard line.
Second and long as they lose 2 yards. Looking at pitch, they almost threw it away. Last second, they pitched and almost threw it over Simon's head. They're going to lose another. No, they don't. They put it back at the 13. They were lucky to get back to the line of scrimmage for no gain. Simon did a nice job picking that lateral that was almost over his head, and he had to wait for it. And now it's 3rd and 12 from the 13-yard line. It's been a long third period. as we're winding down. Final 30 seconds. They need a big play. The pitch. And that was Richardson.
Number 18, Jordan M. on the run for the Bulldogs. Stopped by Sea of Rams defenders. It'll be 4th and 7.
Out to the 18. They picked up 5.
That's the end of the third quarter.
And that will be the last play of the third period.
After 3, score from Manning Field here in Lynn. Lake Classical Rams 12. Wood English Bulldogs.
So Classical, a period away from having a very tasty Thanksgiving dinner for the second year in a row. In this, the 109th edition. Through 3 periods, English still has that only 2 first downs. One of them a penalty against English. And they only have 21 yards rushing, 21 yards of offense. As we start the 4th period, they're going to be kicking it away. Coach Lafrada getting his first taste of Thanksgiving football, this great rivalry. As we mentioned before, these kids, some of them are friends. They played Little League, Pop Warner, maybe other sports together. They may live in the same neighborhoods. They may be playing hockey together with the Jets when the season opens, because the Jets are combined. Tech English and Classical. High snap again, and they just get the kick away. And they let it go, and it'll just sneak in to Classical territory at the 49.
After the punt, the Rams will take over with a 1st and 10. Bobby placed in their own.
So we mentioned field position. Classical has certainly had the advantage. And they'll have it at their 49-yard line. As we're underway here in the final period. And the final period of the season, hard to believe. We've gone through all of the many soccer games played here at Manning Field. All of the football games played here. 10 soccer teams, 5 football teams playing a ton of games here at Manning Field. And this is the last period of all of that. We'll be getting into basketball and hockey very soon. Boone got stood up, and that's the English defense again doing the job.
Brought down by number 55. Now it's Ventura behind the line of scrimmage. Be a 2nd and 12 at the 47-yard line of the Rams.
Who's been the leading rusher for Classical virtually every game? He had a couple of humongous games. He's only got 32 yards rushing. Cuts it up inside, slips through a couple of tackles.
22, Tyler DeWall on the run for the Rams. Brought down by number 9, Jonathan Andres.
So he goes from 147 to the other. Picked up 6.
Be 3rd and 6 for the Rams at the Bulldogs 47-yard line.
3rd and 6.
Fessler
with the catch. to the 39. 8 yards.
The first and 10 for the Rams at the Bulldogs, 39.
So a first down at the 39-yard line. And again, whether they score or not, they hold on to the ball. They shorten the game up. They keep it away from English, leading 12-0. Everybody in very tight. Off the left side.
Number 22, Tyron Luan on the run for the Rams. The second and 6.
He got to the 35. He picked up 4. At the 35, second and 6. Cutting it to the outside. And depending where they mark him out, close to a first down.
Number 22, Tyron Luan on the run for the Rams. It'll be 3rd and 3.
They gave out at the 32, so they gave him 3. Third and 3, obviously in 4-down territory here. And we got a whistle for a flag again against Glasgow.
On the play, ball start on the Rams. Ball is being moved back 5 yards.
They'll move it back to the 37.
And it'll be 3rd and 8.
We've had a lot of penalties in this game. Again, a nice crowd for this game. You love to see that. You love to see the support for these teams. Good crowd last night for Kip and Tech. Good crowd again today for English and Classical. And again, happy Thanksgiving to everybody. It's been a great season, and now we'll get ready for basketball and hockey. Boone gets stood up. English defense coming up big again.
On the run for the Rams. Stopped by number 50, Mac Peters.
He lost 2.
Freshman number 60, Valerie Cruz. It'll be 4th down for the Rams.
4th down. And 10. Looked like Vaughn was going to try and run with it. He loses yardage.
Line of scrimmage by number 44, Mitchell Porter. It'll be a turnover run down to the Bulldogs. Will take over with the 1st and 10 at their own 42.
So they lost 3 more. English will have it for the first time in the 4th period. And for the first time in a long time, they'll have it in decent field position at their own 42-yard line. They let it fly. Receiver slipped, went to the ground. Pass is incomplete.
Our pass intended for number 6, Josh Anderson, is incomplete. It'll be a second and
Looking
10
for
the
Anderson.
Bulldogs.
And that's Rosario in at quarterback. Second and 10 for the Bulldogs. Over the middle, incomplete.
Rosario's pass intended for number 44, Mitchell Perder, is incomplete. It'll be third and 10 for the Bulldogs.
Looking for Perder. English has been a running offense all year long, and now down 12-0 in the fourth period. With just over 7 minutes left, they have to start throwing the ball. Rosario's only a sophomore. Both these teams are young. Low snap, he gets it. Lets it fly, picked off by Naskey at the 40-yard line. We got flags all over the place. Flags all over the place. Naskey caught that one belt high. Got a great return. Glasgow's going to have the football. But let's see what the penalty is about. It's against Glasgow. But Glasgow's going to have the football.
Wayne Mosey, please go to the home locker room. Again, Wayne Mosey, please go to the home locker room. Thank you.
So Glasgow will have the football with the Naskey interception. He's done it all. He's rushed for 78.
Personal foul penalty on the Rams. As a result, the ball will be moved back to the 35-yard line.
He's caught passes for 27. Now he has an interception. It'll be at the Glasgow 35-yard line after they sort it out. Direct snap to Hoon. Turns the corner and is maybe just a little bit shy of a first down. I don't know if that's going to be against English for a hit. He got to the 44 for a pickup of 9.
Penalty is on the Bulldogs. Personal foul.
Illegal hit by English. That's going to cost him. To the English 41.
After the penalty, it will be first and 10 for the Rams. Ball be placed in Bulldog territory, the 41-yard line.
Solid hit, but he was out of bounds and they hit him again. And it cost English 15. Just under 7 minutes left. Moon off the left side.
Number 22 trying to go on the run for the Rams, so we do have a penalty on the field.
To the 35 for a pickup of 6. We have another penalty against English.
Face mask penalty on the Bulldogs.
A face mask.
The automatic first down for the Rams.
Down to the 20-yard line.
So we first and 10 for the Rams and Bulldogs territory at the 20-yard line.
Picked off in the end zone by English. Flag on the another penalty on the play. Still loose down the sideline. And now they grab English. Now a little extracurricular activity. He kept running the football. And they finally grabbed him, wrestled him, and threw him down. And then classical English didn't like that. Classical didn't like it. Everybody retaliating. And flags all over the place. People trying to separate people. They picked it in the end zone and tried to run it out. There were flags all over the place. There's a flag upfield, there's a flag back downfield. English is going to get the football.
We have penalties on both teams.
The extracurricular activity goes against both teams, but there was a flag before that. Probably, I don't know if it's an illegal block. The officials are earning their money today. They're marking it off from the 10 to the 5, I think. Now they're turning around. They marked it from the 10 to the 5, and then they marked it off against Classical with the offsetting penalties, or both penalties. And they're finally going to put the ball down shy of the 20-yard line. They put it at the 19. So English pinned deep again, but they have the football. The Classical opted to throw it. English picked it off. And then World War III erupted with everybody banging and whacking and tempers flaring. Just past the halfway mark of this fourth and final period of the season. From the 19. Low snap again. In trouble. Rosario's going to get hit and lose yardage.
Rosario is sacked behind the line of scrimmage by multiple Rams defenders.
They lost 6. English will take a timeout. And field position has been huge, and English just hasn't been able to do any offense at all. Castro's been able to run the ball all year. He's had some big games. Simon has had some big games, but they just can't do anything here today. It's going to be 2nd and 16, and sounds like a broken record, but it's been decent for English when it's been 3rd and 10 or 3rd and 9 or 2nd and 10. They've been minus yards virtually every possession. Second and 16 as we get back to football. Taking off and running with it. Getting just about to the 20-yard line.
Number 1, Edwin Castro at the quarterback seat. It'll be a 3rd and 10 for
He
Bulldogs.
picked up 7. Third and 9. Looking throw, going to take off and run with it. Now it clogs up, and he just lets it fly. Defense by Naskey. Perler almost made the play, and he would have had a first down. There was another flag on the play. They'll refuse the penalty. English will have to kick it away. Closing in on 4 minutes left. And it's been a long second half with all these penalties. So Glasgow's going to make it 2 in a row. We've had some games double overtime last year. We had the kick return by Glasgow a couple of years ago that wound up on ESPN when the English thought they won the game with 8 seconds left and Glasgow pulled it out. The first game I ever did, English and Glasgow, was a field goal by Jimmy Smith with no time left. English is trying to draw Glasgow offside, and Glasgow's not biting. And now, too much time. They'll move it back. They needed more than 5 yards. I don't know why they were trying to draw Glasgow offside. 3 ticks over 4 minutes left in the game. The ball at the 15-yard line. I don't know. It looks like English is going to try and go for this. I suppose 12-0, 4 minutes left. What's the worst that can happen? You turn it over and Glasgow scores again? Looking to throw. Still looking. Hit and dropped. The ball is loose. Classical gets a touchdown.
Number 50 correction, Yoel Sosa with the recovery touchdown.
They lose 15 yards on the play, but more importantly, they lost the football and they went in the end zone, and Classical gets a touchdown. Yoel Sosa. It bounced around, it got loose. Sosa wound up picking it up in the end zone for a touchdown. And that's icing on the cake for Classical. I'm going to whistle, I think. I don't know if they were going to mark off for too much time or Classical called a timeout. They called a timeout. Just under 4 minutes left. Been a long second half with a ton of penalties. English has suffered through horrible field position. They haven't been able to do anything offensively at all. With coming up on 3 minutes left, they only have 2 first downs in the game, and one of them was a penalty against English. And they decided to go for it on 4th down. And who could blame them? 12-0. 4 minutes left in the game. Castro trying to throw it, got in trouble, got hit. The ball got knocked loose. It bounced around, wound up in the end zone. Sosa fell on it for the touchdown. And now Classical will go for 2. Another penalty on the play. Pass incomplete. We're setting a record here for yellow flags. Illegal receiver downfield. So Classical will kick it off as the penalty is refused, obviously. So Classical's going to make it 2 in a row over the Bulldogs. And the same thing, English making a great comeback. They were 0-4. They came back to go 5-5. Looking for a winning season. The same thing happened last year. They went 0-5, won 5 in a row. Looking for a 6th win to come out with a winning season, 6-5. And Classical beat them in double overtime. And now English loses 4 in a row. They go 5-1 over their last 6 to get to 5-5. Looking for a winning season, and Classical knocks them off. Classical is going to go to 6-4. Haskell has exactly 200 yards of offense. 138 rushing, 62 passing. At the 33, and they're going to be dropped right there.
After the return, it'll be first and 10 for the Bulldogs. Ball be placed in their own territory.
They put it at the 30-yard line. Considering the field positions they've had during this game, this is not too bad. So from the 30, running straight ahead. And getting across the 35.
Will be a 2nd and 4 for Bulldogs.
Picked up 6.
36.
2nd and 4. And after the last sequence, we know that English is in 4-down territory. The defense has played well for the Bulldogs. Just a couple of plays have cost them. They try to run straight ahead. They can't go anywhere. And they are really frustrated.
Be a 3rd and 7 for the Bulldogs.
They lost 3. Third and 7. As we're under 2 minutes, coming up on a minute and a half. To keep running to the far side. And we got a flag coming in again. Way up away from the play. Frustrations. It's against English.
Penalty is on the Bulldogs. They drop back as a result.
15 yards.
We 3rd and long for the Bulldogs. Their own 16.
From the 16, again, 3rd and a mile. This has been the norm for English through this entire game. Not going anywhere. And that's the game. English had 6 yards of offense and 2 first downs. One of them a penalty against English. Classical makes it 2 in a row over the Bulldogs. And turkey is not going to taste good in the English households. It was 0-0 at the end of 1. English winds up with 6 yards rushing and 2 first downs. Classical winds up with 104 yards rushing, 44 passing, 5 first downs. Actually, they wound up with 200 yards, 138 rushing, 62 passing, 9 first downs. They got 200 yards exactly. The game was won in the second period. It was 0-0. English had the football. They were punting. It got blocked. Classical took over at the 19. It took them 6 plays. 4th and 5. Brian Vaughn makes the pass to Fessler in the near corner, the left corner of the end zone. 6-0. Classical. And that was really all they needed. They come back, they hold English. English has to punt again. The punt is down at the 21-yard line. 1 play from Naskey. He goes 79 yards for the touchdown. Made it 12-0. And then late in the game, English going for it on 4th down. Quarterback got hit, dropped the ball. It wound up in the end zone. And Yoel Sosa fell on the loose ball in the end zone for the touchdown. A lineman's dream, making it 18-0, and that was the final score. So Hune ran for 58 yards. Naskey ran for 78. He also caught passes for 27. Fessler caught 3 passes for 35 and a touchdown. The lineman's dream by Sosa for a touchdown on the fumble recovery, and Naskey with the 79-yard run. And English, just their offense was invisible. They couldn't move the ball. They had horrible field position. Penalties cost them dearly. They were 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th long the entire game, very long. And they're not a passing offense, and they just couldn't get anything going at all offensively. Penalties, the name of the game. Classical makes it 2 in a row. Classical will go to 6-4. English ends up 5-6. As Classical shuts out the Bulldogs 18-0. English winds up with only 7 yards of offense, 2 first downs, one of them a penalty on the Classical. Classical winds up with 200 yards, most of it on the ground. And they win it by a score of 18-0. So happy Thanksgiving to everybody. It will be a happy Thanksgiving for the Classical Rams. Turkey won't taste as good in the English household, but English, they did well. Congratulations to the Bulldogs. They could have quit when they were 0-4. They went 5-1 to get back in it. A great comeback. Coach Lafrata has to be happy with the efforts his team put in. Brian Vaughn happy with his kids. They made the tournament. They win 6 games. And everybody now will get ready for basketball and hockey. So the season, soccer, football, completed. Track all over. Now we go to basketball and hockey, and we'll be doing that very quickly within a week or two. And we'll be fully started. And this season, football and soccer will be a memory. But it was a great one. Some great games. We wish all the teams, all the seniors who played their last game here at Manning Field, we wish them the best of luck in the future. We know they're going to be good. They're great kids. I wish everybody could get to know them the way I do. 18-0 Classical over English. We hope you enjoyed it. I'm Don Hoffman saying we'll see you next time.